Hello everyone, my name is JT, and today I am delighted to share with you the lessons from the Frog Prince. So, once upon a time in a kingdom far, far away, there was a prince, and because of some wicked curse, turned into a frog. Out of nowhere comes a princess, decides to kiss this frog. The frog turns back into the prince, they fall in love, get married, and lived happily ever after. That is the tale of the Frog Prince, and today I am delighted to be able to share with you why there's more scientific truth in this 19th century fairy tale than you might think. But before I talk about frogs, I have to redirect our attention to something that's terribly devastating. We are currently fighting a war that's costing the lives of 500,000 people annually. This war, there's nothing we could do to stop it from spreading. And this is the war we have against the flu. In particular, the swine flu, the H1N1 virus. Think of the last time that you were sick. You had to stay in bed, you didn't have the energy nor the appetite to do anything. Antibiotics were useless because the flu is a virus. The antivirals that we have are only effective in shortening the amount of time that we're sick by very little. Home remedies, such as ginger coke and chicken soup, pretty much failed solutions. I've been there. And what about every time the flu season comes along, we have these crazy, confusing numbers in the news. But what do these numbers, what do they even mean? The simple way to think about this is the H stands for the type of head, and the N for the type of nose. The virus uses these parts to bind to our cells. So remember, without these parts, the virus is useless. What makes viruses more troublesome is that there are 18 different types of heads and 11 different types of noses. Viruses, they're smart. They can pick and choose whatever combination that they want. That's why we get these crazy, confusing numbers, and that's why it's so bloody difficult to fight. Now, scientists have discovered something that might help us turn the tide in a war against the swine flu. And this is where we turn to the Frog Prince. Somewhere in the depths of southern India is a black, red, and yellow striped frog called Hydroflex bahuvistata. On the skin of this frog, they secrete a mucus which contains a protein which has flu-killing ability. The current antivirals that we have they act like a helmet and they bind to the head. So the virus can't bind to our cells, but the virus can still continue to replicate in our body and cause a lot of trouble. What this protein does, it acts like a sword, and it cuts off the part connecting the head to the virus, decapitating it. This causes a chain reaction which causes the virus to explode. Now, you don't have to be a trained biologist to be able to tell that from this picture. The virus on your right is completely destroyed. It can't bind to our cells anymore, nor can it replicate inside our body to cause more trouble. Now, this miraculous protein is called uramin. And uramin, the scientists named it after the sword, urami. Urami has a flexible blade, which can bend and snap like a whip. And this sword comes from the same southern Indian province as the frog. So just like the sword, the scientists thought that this protein is effective in slicing, dicing, and killing this flu. Now, the scientists who have discovered this are cautious in not raising our hopes too high. Because remember how I said that there are 18 different types of heads? Unfortunately, uramin is only effective against the H1 virus types only. So, uramin is far from becoming an anti-flu drug, but experiments in mice have shown that those that were injected with uramin were 3 times more likely to survive than those without when they had the flu. And so I guess we can be hopeful because we won't soon have to fall sick to the swine flu anymore. And I suspect that it won't be long before we see people lining up at the pharmacy demanding to kiss frogs. That has been the lessons from the Frog Prince, and I hope that I've convinced you why there's more to learn about fairy tales than you think. And it makes me wonder if there are other truths in fairy tales that we might have missed. Thank you very much.